Every week there's another scandal involving a big-name athlete. The latest is basketball star Derek Coleman, who allegedly urinated in the dining room of a Detroit restaurant and could face criminal charges. And we have Darryl Strawberry attempting yet another comeback after a drug incident, and Lawrence Taylor being inducted into the Football Hall of Fame despite numerous drug problems and child support questions. With us now is a big-time athlete who kept it clean. Phil Simms played quarterback for the New York Giants for 15 years and led them to 2 Super Bowls. Mr. Simms is currently the voice on a hot new video game called NFL Game Day 2000, along with Dick Engberry. You know, the problem here with Derek Coleman and Darryl Strawberry and these other guys is that when they get in trouble, they always seem to get out of it, and then they always seem to go ahead with their careers. And kids chalk that up. They see that. How do you feel about it?
Well, there's a lot of things I see about it. I'm not condoning what they do. You know, I think there's definitely, if you're a professional athlete, I think you should be a role model. You should try to live up, make kids idolize what you do, and be a good example.
So you believe that you're a role model?
Absolutely.
All right, because I've had a lot of football players come on here, and every athlete say, I'm not a role model, I'm just making a living, and leave me alone, give me a break.
It's a tough role to handle, because it is. It puts a lot of stress on you. You always got to watch what you do, but in the long run, it makes you a better person.
You went into that mindset early on after college? That was your philosophy? I'm a role model?
Well, I don't know if I ever thought about it. I just thought this is the way I'm supposed to act, and I try to do that accordingly.
You got inner city kids, poor kids who idolize the Derek Colemans of the world and the Lawrence Taylors of the world. And they watch their every move. I mean, kids watch it. They see Derek Coleman now doing this thing in a Detroit restaurant.
Well,
I mean, this sends a message. It sends a message. But I don't hear other athletes condemning this kind of behavior.
Oh, I think they do. I just don't think nobody cares if they do condemn it. And I think athletes make mistakes just like people, actors, regular people do. Politicians, we forgive them. But for some reason, I think that we, and again, I'm not condoning what the athletes do, but for some reason, we do hold athletes to a little higher standard sometimes. And I don't know if that's fair. They're going to make mistakes. Athletes are going to, they're young, they make money.
Right.
They're going to do drugs. They're going to break the law sometimes.
But the reason we hold them to higher standards is because of the child factor, because the kids don't care about Hazel O'Leary or even Clinton. They hear about it, but they don't. But they're emotionally tied into you and Michael Jordan. And it disturbed me a little bit with Lawrence Taylor, because I think was the best defensive guy ever to play the game. You played with him.
Right.
But this guy was a thug in my estimation. He did so many bad things, and to see him at the Football Hall of Fame.
But he's not a thug. See, I just take great exception to that. I lived for 13 years with Lawrence Taylor. I saw so many things he did for other people. He helped straighten people's lives out. He donated money to a lot of people, never going to get that money back. He did so many good things, and yes, he had problems with some drugs. And of course, when you get those problems, that's going to create problems in your house. Don't you agree that?
Yes, I do.
So you're going to have money problems, which he ended up having because of drugs.
Child support problems, marital problems. Look, I don't know the guy you do, and I'm believing you when you tell me that he had a good heart. I'm going to believe you.
He does have a good. That I don't have to sit here and think about it. Lawrence Taylor has a great heart.
Maybe I judge him too harshly, but I do think the negative publicity about him did affect kids who looked up to him.
Absolutely. I think they do. I'll tell you this. Here's what really woke me up one day. I'm with my kids. I have 3 kids, and I took them somewhere one day, and it was professional athletes around, and I saw how excited they got. They wanted to get the autograph, and boy, they got the autograph. My gosh, they went crazy.
This is from LT?
No, from other players.
Oh, from
it wasn't even
players.
from LT, and I went, wow, look how crazy and happy that made my kids.
Your kids, who are exposed to the game, right?
And I go, I got to be careful how I treat kids. I got to be careful, and I got to make sure, even when I'm edgy and don't want to do it,
especially
take the time out.
Poor kids. Poor kids idolize these guys, and it just makes me furious when I see these guys take the drugs and all of that. All right, we got a minute left. Why should we buy this video game, and what's unique about it, and why am I going to want this for my very own?
You've answered it already, because it's a nice, clean game. There's no taunting. There's no trash talking. It's like an NFL game. We hooked up players. The action of the players is like Terrell Davis. They hooked him up. They move just like it.
There's a little showboating there.
But you're allowed to showboat a little once you score a touchdown. So
So this is basically a game that everybody can play, even the computer nitwits like me? I mean, I can figure this out.
Maybe if you hang in there long enough.
I am the worst.
So am I.
I played college football, so I know the game, but the computer thing is ridiculous. But this looks like a fun project.
It is. I'm proud of it. I'm the voice with Dick Enberg, who's a good friend of mine and a mentor, too. Taught me a lot about the TV end of football, and I'm excited about it.
You know what's good about this? It's better than those doom games where you're blowing everybody to pieces and all of that stuff. This, I think, will entertain the kids just as much, and it's a positive force.
Hey, my kids liked it, even though their dad's announcing it. So that was a tremendous factor.
All right. Phil Simms, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing you in the next NFL season, which is upcoming.